Where do you find good information about the core stuff of Christianity? What do we mean? How do we know? And what difference does it make? As a Baptist minister, I've summarised it onto just one page for you. In this series, I'll walk it through so that you can make a well-informed decision about life's core stuff. Welcome. This is about when and how to use this one pager. What if I don't need that much information? When might I use that much information? Hyperlinks on the PDF and a tool for your growth pathway. I know all that fine print can look intimidating, and that's why I did these videos. But some people just don't need all that information. Is there a more basic summary? Well, I just remember the rings, and I'll put them on this summary so that you can just read Bible verses that match the rings. And when you get to the middle, how he took our sins on his body, I put a graphic on the back that might help explain that too. I also put a photo of specific prophecy about it from the great Isaiah scroll copied around 200 years before Christ, just to prove this whole super story actually came from God. Yeah, I know, I couldn't help myself. I always have to add something about how do we know, but that's just the way I'm wired. But then that is why I made this one pager, for other people like me who want answers to the how do we know. Christians who want to ground their faith in hard facts, and newbies who want to know if there are facts to support Christianity. The one pager has plenty to satisfy their minds. But just remember, we're more than minds. Jesus said, love the Lord your God with all your mind and all your heart and all your soul and all your strength. The one pager helps your mind to think, but I hope it also prompts your heart to feel and relate, and your soul to pray and come to life, and your strength to act rightly in practice too. So how might I use the one pager? Well, I can zoom in on particular facts that I might want to review or to share, or I can move through a progression of ideas bit by bit to help someone to understand the super story. Or I can use it as a cheat sheet for presenting a whole chunk of information. Or if you want to use the videos, you can follow these sneaky links on the PDF version. These will only work on the PDF version, at least I hope they'll work. Some apps and devices might not. You can get the PDF on jeffwestlake.com. Finally, the one pager ends up focusing on your relationship with Jesus and offers these 6 core practices for growth. Now, I recommend meeting regularly with a couple of friends to help you stick to the growth practices and keep Jesus at the center and not let self take over again. Get your friends into it or find some locals who'll meet with you. It's what local churches do. And to help run that kind of a meeting, I made this bookmark of power. Now, the only power involved is that the person holding the bookmark keeps the group on track just by asking these questions. And notice how these questions cover all the growth practices. Number 1 is a quick check-in with each other. How are you? We use Spuds In as a quick game. These are our Spuds, our 2 fists, and we rate out of 10 how we're feeling at the moment. We can quickly just spot if anyone's feeling particularly low. Number 2 is to ask if we did what we said we would do last time, and this supports us to practice all the practices. Number 3 is to pray for each other and for our friends. 4 through 7 help us to learn from the Word, the Bible. Number 8 is quietly paying attention to the Spirit so that He can focus for us what He wants us to learn. Number 9 is to write down anything that we should do about it this week. And next week, remember, you'll be asked about it again at question 2. And number 10 is to pray together from that listening time and close the meeting. This Bible discovery method can be used all the way along the growth pathway. You just use different Bible passages to suit. You can tweak the questions if you want, but make sure to encourage all those growth practices in everyday life. This is a good way to stay tuned into Jesus and not self. Well, I hope the one pager and the bookmark of power stimulate your life and love for Jesus from the mind to your heart, to your soul, to your strength. Because it really makes sense to live your life according to the reality checks. I'm Jeff Westlake. See you on that pathway.